highway patrol get attacked.
Yeah.
And they converting, to defend themselves, what do you think you have to do?
I will be in charge of highway patrol. I was as a law enforcement leader, and this may be too graphic for some of you, but if those were Riverside County deputies that were on that freeway that were getting hit with rocks and bricks and everything else, the people throwing them would have been shot. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Part of the problem with the big fire they had was that Newsom is owned by the environmentalists.
Yeah.
He could not pump what he should have and could, but he didn't want to move the water south to where it was needed so that we'd have water in the reservoir to fill our system.
So I will die not being an embarrassment to my parents or my kids or my wife. That is my goal in life. I will never do anything to embarrass them. My boss, the only person that I will ever answer to or that I will be beholden to is God, and it certainly isn't an activist.
Good. Thank you.
My question had to do with, answer it with being afraid of the Republicans splitting their vote.
Yeah. So I am afraid of it.
The vote splitting issue coming up because we're a jungle primary in the state of California.
Jim Mulder and you, I'd like to say this about splitting the vote. First of all, let's use common sense. Chad is the most qualified.
Yes.
He's been a leader. He's balanced the budget. He knows Sacramento.
He got
He's
elected in a blue
answers,
county.
a plan for everything. The other opponents do not. So what I'm telling everybody, I have a passion that you have got to win. Everybody will just go out and give him $20. Everybody, at least $20 to his campaign. We will show that we are there for him, and you get everybody else to do it. We can show that we're ahead, that we're supporting him, and we can get him elected. Long Beach area Republicans did something they've never done before. They've endorsed a Republican when other Republicans are running, and we have endorsed.
Yes.
But we all can't just give money and sit back and do nothing, especially in California. What can we do as individuals in our own community?
You get so it's twofold. We know what the problem is. If we split votes, we lose. I'm telling you, if he was better, I would get behind him and we would win. But the reality is, I will be the only Republican on this ballot that has the ability to have Democrats vote for them. And it's because my entire existence is providing a service to people regardless of what their political preference is. It's just the ability to serve, and that's it. So not only do you have to convince all of your other friends to support me, there has to be a momentum, there has to be a movement. These other people are reaching out, wanting to talk and everything else. You have to tell them no. There is no law that says they have to come and talk to your group. You say, no, you have no chance of winning, you need to help us instead of hurt us. And that's the reality. The unfortunate part about Republicans is egos. And I will tell you this, it hurts me that I don't want to sacrifice my department and my family for what is not only happening right now, but the worst part hasn't even happened. I don't want to sacrifice for nothing, just to say the 10 other people that took away votes because people weren't paying attention, those were the votes that would have put us over the top. That's going to be very heartbreaking. So the reality is they're politicians and they're trying to win. Nothing personal, but Steve's events are being canceled because groups aren't selling tickets. Groups aren't showing up. And so he cancels them. It's like, well, why go there if no one's coming? And that realization has to eventually sit in. And honestly, Steve is the only prominent one that would have a chance The rest of them they will get a couple hundred votes, 1,000 at the most, but they have to stop, and we all have to get on the same page, but it's you convincing them, not me. Yes, ma'am?
I just think we also need to be careful too, and this is, obviously everyone knows I love Bianca. I can tell you more about how I met him and everything, but I will tell you, when you see the polling that's going out right now, pay attention to where the polling came from. It came from another country, right? And they have a narrative and a thing to push, and that's why they're pushing it out to try to show support for a candidate. I'm not trying to tell people how to vote, but I don't like to see, and I don't like people being manipulated. So when you see those kinds of things, that's a big red flag. I messaged her right away, look where the polling came from, right? You gotta be paying attention to what they're driving, where they're driving from.
Yes, sir.
How do we tap into the narrative within support from
Well,
Steve Hilton does not?
that's going to come. So here's the reality of California and Trump. I certainly want his brother. He certainly knows who I am. We're working with him constantly. His team is constantly working with my political team to make sure that we're doing the right thing in California, because California will be the key of whether or not he keeps the House of Representatives. And so he knows that he has to do everything he can to help California. So this is the sad part of being in California. He lost 60-40. So his team is trying to figure out if his help is going to hurt or help. And so it will eventually help. When, we don't know. It's either right before the election or after the primary and going into the final. But he is very involved with what's happening in California. And we are hoping, we're going to be meeting with him personally in just a few weeks. And what I really want is this whole thing about how do we get everybody else out? He could get them out.
Yes.
A call from the president saying, you need to get out, is going to get them out. So that's what we're hoping for. Yes, ma'am.
Stand up.
So you shouldn't think you're not running for any
Yes. So I think the question is, am I in favor of a pathway to citizenship? Yes. I think it's absolutely horrendous that it takes 20 years for someone to become a citizen in this country unless you have millions of dollars. That should not be California. My families came here from other countries and became citizens. My wife's family came here from other countries and became citizens. But back when they did it didn't take 20 years. So I will do everything I possibly can to make the federal system fix itself. And the reality is, there has to be a pathway to citizenship. You can't say that there isn't. That is, I mean, truly, I guess it's not American. But I will tell you this, no one will become a citizen if you're here breaking our laws. One more question. And actually, I'll go to somebody that hasn't asked one. I'm sorry, I'll answer yours personally.
Charlie Kirk, are you working with kids?
I'm working with all of his kids, not Charlie Kirk. Eventually, Charlie Kirk will come around. I'm working with all of his kids.
Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
I apologize if you've already answered a similar question, but do you have additional priorities for a collaborative relationship with the Trump administration, and what are those other priorities? What are your top two in addition to immigration?
To be honest with you, I really, as much as his policies and what he's doing affects the entire country, California can be better than the United States. I'm only concerned about California, and as much as he says, make America great again, my goal is California. My priorities will be Californians, not Iowans, or not Texans. It's how are we going to fix state government to best serve our residents that, quite frankly, right now, if we did that, we would be reaping the benefits like the rest of the country is with the things that are happening just in the last 5 months. So I can't tell you, other than immigration, I mean, there will be everything. There will be lots of things that we definitely always need the government's help. Disasters, wildfire disasters, we absolutely, as much as the state cannot afford to rebuild the Palisades, the federal government could. And a governor with a relationship with the president could have got money to rebuild these people's homes, to assist the insurance companies, rather than make them all go bankrupt, and rather than make all their land go to the state for what we now know is almost like just waiting for it to happen so they could rebuild cities how they want them. And if we actually had a relationship with a president who wants to make the country great and a governor who actually wanted to make the state great, both of our goals align together, so we would be working together hand in hand all the time. That's a great question, but my always priority will be the state of California.
Based on your Western attire, I'm sure you have some friends that are members of Rancheros Visitadores.
Yes.
And we have Reagan as our guest one year, and it's in May. And I think it's paramount that we get you that.
We will for sure. I think it's already on my calendar. I think it's already on my calendar. If I promise what? In and out in every city. Actually, I'm taking I mean, one of my favorite movies, how you end a successful campaign, the final promise, you can promise all these things, but in the end I have to say, when I win, everybody gets ice cream. So thank you all, and I appreciate it. Thank you.